at half time, you spin the camera at me.
6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Hello and welcome to this Isthmian South Central game here at the Memorial Ground. It's a Wednesday night. It's Farnham Town versus Hayes and Yeading. It's the top of the table, the clash. Farnham Town have nearly got their job done in this league season. 81 points, probably only 3 wins required to clinch the title. Hayes and Yeading, however, sit 7th and have work to do in order to get into the top playoff positions. It will be a fascinating tie. It's the first time these two teams have played each other in the league this season. We go back to Hayes and Yeading's ground in a couple of weeks' time to complete the home and away fixture reversal. Paul Johnson walking over the pitch now, as is Jimmy Hibbert following on behind him. Strong bench out there as well for Farnham Town. Great Evans, Sam Evans, Ben Purcell, Kai Tanner and Daryl Sanders. Very star-studded bench for Farnham, as they have seen over the course of the season. Being able to change games late is so important. And I will read out the Hayes and Yeading team whilst I can. It's Julius Pazio in goal, Keno Robinson captains the side, James Richmond, George Sippets up front for them. It's been very, very successful in front of goal in the last few weeks. Jose Sane played his football at Nap Hill in Step 5 alongside this Farnham Town side last season. He's going to play up front as well for Hayes and Yeading this evening. In behind them will be Caelan Hines and Jude Mason and Tyler Hales, with Raynell Hercules, Amos Nasher also in the side. It's going to be a very competitive Hayes and Yeading side. And I'm joined this evening by Paul Tanner, who's munching on some
lovely sweets. Evening. How are we, Harry?
Yeah, good. Picture's looking good. It's our final Wednesday night game of the season, hopefully.
Yeah.
One more Tuesday night next Tuesday.
You never know, with depending on what weather is, but yeah, no, I think we go straight the way through now.
Absolutely. It is dry though out there, mainly due to the lack of rain, which is something we haven't talked about a lot of this season, but it is a dry surface, but one that probably suits Farnham Town, nice and hard, going to play nice and true.
It's a funny one, our pitch, because what are we now, 3, possible 4 weeks ago, and you kind of wondering if we have any rain, it's just going to be too wet, but yeah, it's dried out very quickly. Probably needs, strangely, a little bit of water on it to make it a little bit more playable, but yeah, no, over the last 2 or 3 games it's got dry quickly and basically kind of dried out to play tonight.
Perfect, and hello and welcome to this South Central Division game between Farnham Town and Hayes and Yeading. Your Farnham Town team is as followed. Number 31, Zaki Waller. Right back Jack Dean, centre back pairing of Jordan Stepney and Ryan Canane. Left back this evening Joe Jackson. Holding midfielders Mark Waters and Harry Cooksey remain as the 2 in the 6th position, but in the 10, Owen Dean, partner Sam Disencroy and Jordan Gallagher and Adam Liddell up front. As I mentioned earlier, a very, very strong bench. Kai Tanner, Benjamin Purcell, Daryl Sanders, Sam Evans and Great Evans. So lots of firepower off the bench. I just mentioned it before you came up here, Paul, but the bench has been so important for Farnham this season. It's kind of where we've seen the ability to change games late on that have allowed us to either see games out or win games late.
Yeah, I totally agree. I mean, even over the last 2 seasons, from what was achieved last season to now, you kind of look at a squad, and a lot of managers would be loving it to be in a position where you look at your bench and you probably, in some times and some periods of the season where you've got better, stronger players which are actually sat behind you, waiting to kind of chomp at your kind of feet, ready to get on. So yes, depth of squad has been perfectly formed, I think, over the last 2 seasons.
But this Hayes and Yeading side will be very keen to leave their mark tonight. The manager lives just above the clock, in the clock end, in the flat that overlooks the pitch. He's been able to watch Farnham Town all season, despite Hayes not having played Farnham so far this season. They're lining up in a old school white and red kit. Farnham don their very traditional claret and blue stripes, and playoff position beckons for Hayes, and it's a real race up there, Paul Tanner. There's lots of teams that are going
definitely
for those
seems to be changing there. You kind of got people who have looked kind of close to us at at one stage we've crept away, and these teams, without naming names, could possibly drop out of the playoffs if results go badly for them. But no, Hayes, I think, have always come with a strong reputation, and I think there's no doubt that you can see that they probably want to get back out of step 4. And every possibility for them to kind of actually deal with that this season.
Absolutely. Hayes strike first as they swap Farnham Town round. It means that Farnham will kick away from the clock end in the second half. You don't often see that.
No.
But it's a tactic that has been used by a few different captains and management teams as they play Farnham here. Actually, Farnham have been far more successful kicking at the goal to my right than they have to the goal to my left over the course of the last few weeks.
I think that's a little mental block, isn't it? Kicking towards the clock end as a home team, you always kind of think the atmosphere changes and spurs you on a little bit, which, goals have been scored there, but I think the level that we are from when you're on the field, it wouldn't really affect you. It's just try and put the ball in the back of either end.
Yeah, and Farnham Town will get us underway via Harry Cooksey, and actually, having watched this Hayes and Yeading team over the last couple of weeks, and actually over the course of quite a lot this season, they are one of the only teams that will go almost body for body with us in that 4-2-2-2 system. They will play narrow with sort of 2 10s, 2 6s and 2 9s. Looks like they've more set up in a 4-2-3-1 here. George Sippett's the lone striker.
Kind of shows the confidence that they have, really, instead of kind of being a little bit more negative against the Farnham side, which, that belief in what they're trying to do obviously is there to kind of come out and try and deal with Farnham in a slightly different way than a lot of other sides which I've seen down here kind of come against us.
Yeah, and it's an early corner, an early chance for Farnham Town to get the ball into the box via Harry Cooksey. All the big men are up there. Cooksey with the ball in. It's not his finest, but it does fall at the feet of Owen Dean. Back to Cooksey. That one's better, and it's Stepney. And Fazio does well.
A little bit of a soft header, but good position. Unfortunately, not the best connection.
He's had a few chances over the course of the last few weeks, Jordan Stepney. Probably expected to score more goals than he has.
Yeah, I think when you look, if you're being a little bit critical against good centre halves, you maybe expect both of them really to have a few more balls in the back of the net than they have done. But sometimes that's how Farnham, with set pieces, corners, don't always tend to get what I would call a lot in games, which then doesn't kind of put them in the opportunity to perhaps get a little bit more than they have.
Yeah, well, it's going to be a few minutes of feeling each other out in this game, understanding what they're going to do. First time they played each other this season.
Pepper Army stand filled with away supporters. I like that.
Yeah, it's become a bit of a home for away supporters. Leatherhead did a great job in filling it up. Bad Shot Lee brought a lot of fans and put themselves in the Pepper Army stand. I think we'll see more and more of that at step 3.
Don't often hear that little statement about Bad Shot Lee bringing a lot of fans.
I thought they've come twice to us in the last 3 seasons, and it's been a fantastic atmosphere both times. I don't know what you're talking about, but it's Jordan Gallagher who's into the box off the back of a header that didn't go quite the direction the Hayes player expected. Gallagher back to Jackson.
See a little bit of physicality from them straight away.
Jackson into Gallagher. He doesn't win the duel. It's sent long. And Stepney's missed it. And back to Zaki Waller, who slices his clearance.
Put the keeper under a little bit of pressure there early on. Misjudging a ball kind of coming down his left-hand side.
That'll be Jose Sane with the throw. Looking like it's going to be a long throw.
He's disappeared from our view.
He has. Ball comes in, it's a good throw. Stepney with a good header. Nicely worked by the Hayes team. Little though does well, but doesn't quite get hold of the ball, but does it the second time of asking. Ball comes in. Good header, great header!
Oh, what a header.
Fantastic finish. Not sure who it is, but it's a brilliant goal. Well worked down this right-hand side. And it's a fantastic bullet header into the bottom corner. And Hayes and Yeading shocked the Farnham Town fans. And it's 1-0.
I think the faces are showing a little bit of shock there. I mean, that's all come from a little bit of a mistake down from Jordan, and a great ball in, which has made the head look absolutely fantastic. And what a finish, really.
Yeah, it was...
What a start for Hayes, which kind of quite pleasingly puts us under a little bit of pressure to kind of perhaps wake up instantly in the game instead of keeping high possession and realising now we need to actually force an issue.
Yeah, it was Kano Robinson, the Hayes and Yeading captain, who scored the goal. It was an excellent one as well. We were just talking about Farnham centre-backs not quite making the impact they want, but here comes Mark Waters. Another Farnham corner. Yeah, we're talking about Farnham centre-backs not quite making the impact in the opposition box, and there goes Kano Robinson, just buries it at bottom corner.
Yeah, it was a very good header. He was kind of slightly going back as well, very strong on the ball. I think another little timing of being a little bit unexpected. It was a great ball in instantly, which allowed a great header. Finds us 1-0 down. Well, they're definitely instantly showing what they've come down here to do. They're very lively straight away.
Absolutely. No, they were a good side, Hayes. Waters. Farnham just need to get back into their own rhythm. Jackson rolls his foot over it and looks wide for Adam Liddell. Liddell.
Oh, corner.
Another corner for Farnham.
Yeah, kind of started off with, you know, a little bit of excitement, which like some of the games recently, we kind of dominated possession, not looked like we were going to concede, but Hayes have definitely come here this evening with a lot of positivity and got a very early reward, which is great for them.
And it's certainly allowed the away fans to get into their voice. Farnham's third corner, Harry Cooksey. It's a good one underneath the crossbar.
Ooh.
Keeper tips it over for Farnham's fourth.
Plenty of time for the game to change. Yeah, setting up very strongly. Oh,
wasn't a great ball in.
Again,
I think it's a throw.
Yeah.
I think it'll be Owen Dean, who threw his first ever long throw.
I was going to say, I'm not sure anyone knew about this, but he's obviously been elected for his long throw, dropping into the 6-yard area.
It's a good one.
Good.
Canane.
Oh, here we. Oh, I thought Jack was going to end up on that.
Listen, Croy. Canane round the corner to Owen Dean.
It's a good response. Good response instantly, straight away. Instead of being too shell-shocked about things, they've definitely gone on the front foot, Farnham, to try and get themselves back instantly level.
Stand up there right now. Okay, that's a big. Attacking Nash.
Keep the pressure on with a decent delivery here.
Nash, this way. Yeah.
Can't really see that. Is that Harry down there on the ball?
Cooksey over the ball. It's another one that doesn't quite get past the first man. Cooksey then also can't get his first touch in order. Well, that's a wasted opportunity from Farnham. St Croix into a nice area, looking for Adam Liddell. And it will be another opportunity for Farnham to put this ball into the box. Will it be Owen Dean to come across? He also is joined by Joe Jackson.
Like a corner! Like a corner!
They don't look too phased with it, Farnham. They look in control to kind of where they're at this moment in the game. But I should imagine instantly when that ball hit the back of the net, there was a few kind of little sighs.
The header, and it's come out to Jordan Stepney. Straight down the throat of Pazio. It was on Jordan Stepney's favoured left foot. Perhaps should have done better rather than hitting it straight into the ground. That's nice. Caelan Hines shoots.
Yeah, very positive, aren't they? They kind of get it towards the 18-yard box and they're looking to make a mark in this game.
Great kick from Zaki Waller. Around the corner from Owen Dean. To nobody. Stepney with a header. It's up in the air, more than away. That's a lovely header from Jose Sane. Sippets. What a goal! What a goal!
What a strike.
What a finish that is. I would call it a half chance, but it's not even that. What a strike. Hits the base of the post. And Farnham are 2-0 down inside 10.
Well, I'm talking about a reaction which looked quite good from Farnham. That is definitely a shell shock. That is a great strike, completely out of the blue.
Yeah, nothing Zaki Waller could do about that one. Brilliant head-on, flick on by Jose Sane. And it was really a flick to nothing. And George Sippets, who's been fantastic over the last couple of weeks, struck it so sweetly and low across the face of the goal, hit the inside the post and buried it. Farnham are 2-0 down.
Every player's dream, that, Harry, when you hear the ping of the aluminium and the ball on the back of the net. Well, I looked at a few faces then, and I was saying about not being shell-shocked. There's a few looking around there. They need a definite reaction here. They need to keep control of the game in the next kind of 10, 15 minutes and not let anything else drift away from them.
Yeah, I mean, that is about as... I would say it's about as good a goal you'll see this season, but we've seen some absolute stunners.
Yeah, we have seen some stunners.
Well, that is definitely in the conversation.
That is such a positive decision. Like I said, I think I mentioned kind of 2 minutes before, as they approach our goal, they look very positive from shooting or creating.
Ball's bouncing into the hands of...
I think we definitely need a little calmer response, as in perhaps getting our possession into the game before we kind of think about openings at the moment. The last thing you want again is to concede again in the next kind of 10 minutes.
Headers off the top of Joe Jackson. And that's into the middle of the park where only Caelan Hines is for Hayes and Yeading.
He's struggling with a little bit defensively with his head in there. He's kind of let a couple of openings arrive for them. He's just so down as a player.
So dry. Bounces are huge. And the ball runs on. Nice touch from Cooksey. It's been a game of 2 chances. And again, Hayes come out with the ball with space in front of him. In towards Sippets, who scored a fantastic goal. If you rewind, only a few minutes. Positive defending from Joe Jackson. But Farnham... And this is the first time Farnham have found themselves 2-0 down in the league this season. And if it isn't, if there is a stat out there I can remember, I can't. Farnham have found themselves 1-0 down in plenty of games. Badshot at home and a few others I can think of, but 2-0, especially in such a short amount of time.
Yeah, I think it's a big impact against them. They kind of definitely need some minutes to regroup here and try and just keep possession better and not actually think about probably trying to get one back instantly, but you need to build towards that, because you can see Hayes, every time that we're losing possession, they're being extremely positive.
Yeah, they're looking forward with every pass. Yeah. Hayes and Yeading. Sippets.
Shout of settle, I think I'll be saying being positive still. Want to keep that pressure going from their point of view.
Croy versus Hines. Comes out with a ball, Farnham Town. Cooksey, though, gets tackled. Jack Dean can get the ball down and with a bit of space in front of him to bring the ball forward. Waters.
Jack's obviously back to full fitness.
That's poor from Cooksey. It was lazy. And they're in here again with George Sippets, but that's a poor touch when he had a chance to get it out to Jose Sane. Lazy from Harry Cooksey as he looked to move it on to Joe Jackson.
Just a few little errors, isn't there, which have let them in, and they've been extremely positive on that last touch.
Excellent start from Hayes and Yeading. If you're joining us late, 15 minutes gone, and Hayes have scored 2 excellent goals. A header
Great
from
finishes.
across.
Absolute great finishes.
Header from across from Kano Robinson, the captain. It was a great cross, it was a good header. But the second goal was something quite special from George Sippets.
They kind of punished 2 little kind of small errors that you would think in other games weren't be kind of a problem, but instantly they've reacted and scored 2 goals with a lot of pressure straight away, which now on Farnham.
Yeah, and Farnham have a mountain to climb already as that goes into the channel. And Ryan Canada's not a happy bunny.
It is a game of football.
It's true. These are 90 minutes of the week where he's not his happiest.
Kind of fear a little bit. That's the first time I felt like this, Harry, at the moment with the game. The kind of.
Oh, you weren't at Leatherhead away then. Has a very similar feeling to Leatherhead away.
Yeah, no, I was there. No, again, I didn't really expect it.
Great ball in. Oh, and it's come off the back of a player and into the hands of Zaki Waller, but that could have gone anywhere.
I don't think we're quite as bad in the body language at the moment. We kind of, I think we're in a little bit shocked, but they are trying to keep hold of the ball a little bit better.
Great touch from Joe Jackson. Croy. Nice bit of interchange with Joe Jackson. And a bit of space. Looking wide.
Great ball, nearly. Oh,
excellent tracking back, though, from Jose Sane, and excellent pressing from Jordan Gallagher.
Yeah, I'm not sure what you kind of want at the moment. Probably what we've seen the last 5 minutes. You know, no efforts on goal, keeping them out of the kind of 18-yard area.
It's been a weird one though, because before the goals, Farnham had 4 corners and were getting into it.
Again, you're right. It kind of felt like we would fallen into our reasonable possession, like you said, attacking set pieces, and they've taken 2 opportunities extremely well.
Joe Jackson. That's nice and positive from Jackson into space in the middle of the park for Harry Cooksey. Farnham will know that they have plenty of time here to find a solution to their 2-goal problem. And plenty of experience in this team as well, knowing that that time can be used to its full effect as Canane rifles it out wide to Joe Jackson. Now Mark Waters. Jackson. Good turn by Croy. That's a nice pass as well into the feet of
somebody in the
Adam
6-yard box now.
Well, that was a poor touch.
And that's gone out. Better in the forward areas then. At least a little bit of interplay, getting into the 18-yard box.
Adam Liddell, obviously a former Hayes and Yeading player, signed it from Hayes in August the year before last. Can you name the other Hayes and Yeading player on the Farnham team? Former Hayes and Yeading player?
Me?
Yeah.
Wasn't Ryan there as a youngster?
He was. Ryan Canane played for Hayes at step 3. Great header by Joe Jackson. Nice from Adam Liddell. That's poor though. Loses the ball, but working hard to get it back. Waters into Owen Dean, who can't get the ball down. And it goes forward by the Hayes centre-back. But that's the area Farnham aren't winning the ball.
No, you're right. And I've got to admit, I only got the Ryan one right because I heard you speaking to their chairman in the boardroom.
Who would
as
you have
I was
gone
walking out. Who would I have gone for? A Hayes player.
Ryan lives in that area, so that helps. Zaki, maybe?
Possibly. I'll be honest, I don't really know Zaki before Chesham. I don't know where and what he's kind of done. If I've been brutally honest, I probably would have said something like Mark Walters.
Yeah.
But thankfully I heard you talking about Ryan and got the question right.
And it's Ryan who sends the ball forward to Disson Croy. He's had some nice neat touches in the last few minutes. Mark Waters to Owen Dean. That's bobbled over his foot though. And that's handball given against Jose Sane. And another opportunity for Farnham to get the ball into the box. But Farnham instead elect to play the ball short, and it's at the feet of Waters.
What's been good, I think, is how we've kind of been pretty disciplined since that quick shock. 2 goals, we've kind of drawn the ball away from a little bit more now.
Cooksley driving forward. Owen Dean. Cooksley over to Jordan Gallagher. Now Owen Dean on the edge of the box. Looking for Gallagher. Dangerous from this area. That's a nice reverse pass. Looking for Liddell. It's come out to Harry Cooksley, who can get the ball into the box. And
it's a good ball.
It is a good ball. Ball's up in the air. Owen Dean jumps.
Yeah.
Sanderson Croy sends it over the top.
Oh.
Great chance.
4 yards out.
Tight angle, but you feel like he should have scored.
Positive to be seen us making those opportunities. Like I said, they've clawed themselves back in the last few minutes with a bit of possession, patient possession really, which is, I think, Farnham are always good at. Kind of shows that they know the position they're in. They've not faltered again. They've not been looked too shell-shocked. I think instantly there were a few faces looking at each other, but like you said, there's a few lads out there which know where to go in these positions, and we've kind of driven ourselves back in to probably having that one decent chance since going 2-0 down.
Yeah, it was a good chance. Fell to Sanderson Croy, but it was excellent work on the right-hand side between Owen Dean, Harry Cooksley, Jack Dean. Disson Croy. Cooksley. Farnham settling into their rhythm a bit. That's a lovely ball as Jordan Gallagher peels off his man. It's going to show on the outside, you'd presume. And that's left-footed and straight into Pazio's hands. But much better from Farnham, much more positive. Clever run as well from Jordan Gallagher. Peeled off.
Peeled himself in and went out. Big diagonal.
That kick is sliced.
A little bit quiet down below us. They must be thinking about certain things which are going on before any instruction comes.
I think what we've seen in the last few minutes shows that not a huge amount needs to change for Farnham to get back into this.
No, that's what I mean. I think, like you said, I think anybody would have been a little bit shell-shocked for that for a period of time, but we've done. I think we've done the right thing. We've kept the ball better for longer.
Sipix goes long into the box. Disson Croy. That's poor from Sammy. And round the corner, and they're into another attacking area. Dragging it back to Caelan Hines. That's a good tackle in the end from Disencroy. And a nice pass from Harry Cooksey.
Done well there.
Liddle. Jack Dean with a bit of space in front of him.
Neutral point of view, it's been a very good game to watch the way
Nicely
it's kind of started.
into Adam Liddle, into the box. And they find something here, Farnham, get it into the penalty area. As Owen Dean looks to
squeeze down there in that corner
get himself into the penalty area. But a few green shoots of excitement for Farnham fans. Chance for Gallagher and a chance for Disencroy, as Jack Dean with a bit of time and space to get in front of him. But it's cleared very easily. Out to, though, as far as Liddle. Back to Dean. Liddle. Ball comes in, it's a good one. Out to Cooksley.
Oh,
And it just ran away from Disencroy, running in late. Chances are starting to come, though, for Farnham Town.
definitely. Like I said, they kind of clawed back in. Hayes having that little bit of pressure 2 minutes ago, but Farnham definitely have kind of got possession, like I keep saying, better, and created now 2 or 3 decent openings and opportunities. I'll be very surprised if we don't score in this game. That very rarely happens. And I think the timing of perhaps getting the next goal from our point of view could put a little bit more pressure back on them.
Robinson with the ball over the top. Touches by Sippets. It's a nice one. Looks to shoot. And straight into the hands of Zaki Waller. Defence was potentially looking for an offside there.
Still extremely positive once they get around the 18-yard box, which is great to see.
That's poor from Stepney. Farnham pressing high and doing well. Adam Liddle. That's poor though from Liddle. Felt rushed. And Pazio has a chance to get this away. Stepney with a header. Nice from Owen Dean. Waters. That's not going to travel. But Zaki does really well. And Farnham need to chase that one down, because that's not a super clever header from the Hayes man. Oh, Farnham get the ball with a throw in.
Expect him to miss it. Make sure our angles recovery's good. Choose early shots. Bit more aggressive. All of us, bit more aggressive.
Canay. Jack Dean has been mainly played on that right-hand side for Farnham, but Cooksey switches it beautifully to the feet of Joe Jackson. Disencroy. Facing the wrong way, Disencroy. Farnham end up having to come all the way back to Jordan Stepney. It's excellent pressing work from Hayes, but it's at the feet now of Owen Dean. That's a nice pass. Into more space for Joe Jackson. Comes inside. Look for 1-2.
Lost a bit of strength there.
Again, more positive from Farnham. Hayes happy to soak it up, as you would be 2-0 in front.
They're definitely the side which are longer in possession, which adds to a kind of bit of confidence. Well done.
Cooksey, nice touch to keep it in. Joe Jackson. Stepney looking wide. Jack Dean tracking back. Stepney. Steps in. Joe Jackson looks forward towards Sanderson Croy. Bit of a Hollywood pass in reality.
I think when we've kind of worked the middle third a little bit quicker and shorter, we've looked last 2 or 3 minutes, we kind of looked at a little bit anxious again, trying to get it. We have 2 or 3 opportunities from working the ball, and now we're looking like we're trying to get it forward too quickly.
Canane into Owen Dean.
That's it, keep the possession now, keep the possession there.
Sane's tracked back brilliantly all game, and Owen Dean slides to his feet. That's nice from Farnham though. Mark Waters now a bit of space.
Yeah,
Sanderson Croy, that's a poor touch though.
He's got away with it there, he's done well to keep it moving.
Waters. Owen Dean, that's good. Farnham moving the ball much faster now. Jack Dean. Ball comes in.
Yeah.
It's a Croy. Can't quite make a connection on it.
Ball corner.
It's a corner ball, but a really nicely worked move from Farnham Town.
That's what I was kind of saying. That middle third move, open it up. That's been perfect there. And that's how they got the earlier opportunities.
And there's been a lot of set pieces for Farnham already in this half. But that was a much better move from Farnham Town. Harry Cooksey needs to put in a cross befitting of the move previous. It's good, it's deep towards Canane. It's bouncing.
Oh,
never
that's a foul.
Jack Dean didn't need to make that tackle.
No. No other games tonight, is there?
Kingstonian just gone 1-0 up in the other game.
Oh, there is.
They're playing Guernsey, who famously came here last week and got sent home.
With not a lot.
No. But Hayes are doing exactly the same to Farnham in this game. Gallagher. And that's a nice little touch that gets Hayes away. Robinson. It's Jude Mason on the left-hand side, looking for Hines. Doesn't find it, but Liddell comes away with the ball, nice and high up the pitch for Farnham. Cooksey invites Joe Jackson forward. Stepney. Waller. Canane. Farnham patient but will want a goal before half time.
Yeah, that would be definitely a better option. After half an hour.
Mark Waters looking for Jack Dean. He finds him.
Yes,
Owen Dean! Goal!
yes.
Farnham get one back. Excellently worked. It's exactly the same as how Farnham have found the opening in the last few minutes. This time it's Owen Dean, and Farnham's top goal scorer finds the bottom corner. Excellent from Farnham Town, Paul Tanner.
Yeah,
that was really nicely worked.
Again, I just looked at the clock and said I think it's just over half an hour, and it's a great time to get yourselves back in the game. And really, they have been building towards something, and finally got a better opportunity with a great little finish.
It really was, and that's why Owen Dean is making a name for himself around these parts. Excellent finish, but it was his brother who made the goal. Very smart pass from Mark Waters, found Jack Dean, and he got it across. And Owen Dean found the bottom corner. Very reminiscent of the goal he scored here in the cup final 2 years ago, aged 18, when he got his hat-trick. Jack Dean back on the ball. Scoops it, looking for Liddell. Farnham have begun to smell blood.
Yeah, like I said, the possession level's been a lot better, and they created those opportunities, and that one was probably more of a timely opportunity, which thankfully has been put in the back of the net. 2-1, strangely, looks a lot better. Sounds obvious, but when you've had an impact early on with 2 quick goals...
I think it was also with the timing of the goal was obviously so important, but also the manner of the goal. You know, it was a move that Farnham have seen success with already, and this time it just needed finishing, and that's what they got.
Yeah, exactly that, and that's, like I say, about that possession, that instead of getting too anxious, kind of 5 minutes where they looked like they were desperate to score a goal. I think Farnham always have the ability to actually work their way back into a
Hayes still with the chance, though.
Yeah, they've got the quality to work their way back in. There's minutes on the actual kind of board where they've done exactly that. Like I keep saying, 2 or 3 opportunities before, and then the better one has come. Oh.
Ryan Kane getting a bit of...
Not sure Ryan's the right personality to take a bit of pressure like that. Quietly saying something back.
Probably, but I think he'll feel a lot better now it's 2-1 than when it was 2-0 and Farnham was struggling to find a breakthrough. It's been an odd game, really.
Yeah,
Farnham have really had the more dominant...
100%. The possession level and the movement, the actual football with it on the deck has been far better from Farnham. Like I said, I think it kind of is what people have probably watched and seen. It's 2 great kind of finishes, which you couldn't really do too much about. You could be critical and say a little bit of build-up before has allowed them to get into a position. But the 2 finishes was such a high quality from Hayes, which I think any side, but for me, Farnham have done exactly the right thing. They've been not even patient, they've just played their way back into the game with possession. In the last 10-15 minutes created 2 or 3 opportunities which built to a far better one, which thankfully Owen's gone and finished, which, like I said, with what we've got, probably 15 minutes just under. I think if they keep persistently doing that and just tighten up maybe the instant impacts that Hayes are having when we break down with the ball, I think you'll find us draw that point.
Yeah, and Owen Dean has had an incredible season so far in front of goal, following on from an incredible season last season, and that was his 26th goal in all competitions for Owen Dean, and that's some return for a young lad who only a couple of years ago, I mean, he didn't look like he does now.
I thought you were going to say a couple of years ago he was his first shave.
Well, yeah, that's very true. But he looks like a man now, Owen Dean.
He's done all the right things. His physicality, ability's always been there, but yeah, he's grown into a proper little footballer now, and has always shown since a very, very young age his ability to score goals.
Looks like that might be a forced change for Hayes, and he's had a really good start to the game, Jose Sane. But looks like there will be a change below us. As the ball cannons forward. And that's the ball into Jordan Gallagher! And that's a poor touch.
Poor touch early. Poor touch.
What a
he'd be
fantastic
disappointed
chance.
there. He would have a little disappointing.
He didn't look the centre-half before he played the pass. And that was a great chance for a man in form. Scored 4 goals here against Guernsey a week ago.
There's a lot of lads in form in the Farnham squad. Unfortunately, that was the intent could be seen there before anything happened. That's definitely a foul for me. Lots going on now.
Referee's busy.
Yeah.
Not 100% sure what's going on. Not sure the Hayes bench are sure.
That's why they're doing it. Something's missing on their bench and the lads go on to go and get it. And the quickest option, player down, and whatever he comes back with from the changing room
Will be what we're missing.
exactly what we're missing.
It's just
Probably forgot his shin pads.
It's one of those things, isn't it? The referees there's such a loophole
Yeah.
with teams able to do this. You know, let's be honest. This player hasn't got cramp after 39 minutes of playing football.
Well, if he has, I'd be a little bit concerned with him starting. But yeah, I think technically they've killed a little bit of time there. Funny enough, again, he's been able to run back across the pitch.
Yeah, I've rarely, if ever, seen that.
It actually looks like he forgot his shirt.
Incredible.
Yeah, definitely. To be honest, they've done very well there.
Huge amount of confusion on the pitch. And confusion below us as well.
I was going to say, there's a bit of
Adrian
confusion.
Clifton looks like he's going to make an entrance. And it's going to be for Jose Sane, who has had a real impact on this game.
Come on, bro. Take it for it.
Referee's not really got a grip of that. He should be enforcing it a little bit more there. To everything which has happened the last 2 or 3 minutes is not really kind of too great from his point of view.
On comes Adrian Clifton, Hayes' top goal scorer. Handful, former Dulwich Hamlet man. And he'll get straight into the action. As Jack Dean has the ball. Sends it long, looking for Gallagher. That's a nice touch. Liddell, sadly behind.
No, Sammy got to go to that.
Sanderson Croy.
Well done.
Does well to get it back to Joe Jackson, and Farnham can rebuild their attack. Cooksey and Jackson keeping the ball. Still 1-2s between Cooksey and Jackson.
I think they're just playing with each other.
Now it's moved out to Mark Waters and across the pitch to Jack Dean. Very different proposition for Farnham to worry about now with Clifton versus Sane. That's a nice piece of defending from Farnham. Learn from their mistakes. Can't give Sippets too much time to turn and face goal. There will be plenty of added time now.
Yeah, it's got to be 5 minutes, I would have thought.
As Canane looks forwards and across the pitch, it's a pinpoint pass to Joe Jackson. Looks with the overlap, it's Harry Cooksey in a bit of space. Cooksey stands one up towards the back stick.
Oh,
Gallagher's pulled away. Jack Dean back in the position he was in. Dean! Oh, it's a brilliant cross, and there was no number 9 there to turn it home.
you had 2 players go near post and left the central area completely open there. That's a great bit of play again.
I thought Jack Dean was either going to go over under a challenge or maybe rifle it, but he did the right thing. Just couldn't get a touch on it. Any Farnham player couldn't get near it, really. But it's much better from Farnham Town. Much more positive, and they will be taking things in, even if they don't get another goal back, taking things into the dressing room with a lot of positivity. Cooksley starting to get a grip of the game. Owen Dean. Canane and Dean linking up well, and Dean's looking ahead of him. Jack Dean, now Owen Dean, running in towards the box. Step over. Doesn't take the ball with him, but Jack Dean does! Save!
Oh, finish!
Yes! Oh, Sam Disson-Croy!
Yes!
And Farnham Town have pegged Hayes back after a very poor start. Sam Disson-Croy took his time and placed it into the bottom corner. Goalkeeper wasn't there. And Farnham Town have managed to get themselves back to 2-2.
I think deserved as well, the way that they've been patient. But both Deans again having a little bit of interplay with each other.
Yeah, Jack Dean has been absolutely critical to both goals. He'll get one assist, he won't get that one. But Sanders and Croy had hours.
Did.
And he took it.
There was a split second I thought, is he actually going to have an impact on the ball?
But he had the correct impact. And he's in a bit of a goal-scoring rich vein of form, Sanderson Croy. 2 against Guernsey a week ago.
He pops up, doesn't he, out of the blue. He kind of gets forgotten a little bit, and then there he is, like you say. What's his tally for this season? Do you know that?
I'm just asking. I think that's his 10th.
That's not a bad contribution, really, from his style and position.
JJ forward. Gallagher. Farnham certainly in the ascendancy. As they have been all game, though, Paul.
Yeah, no, they have. Exactly that. That's what I mean. If you look
Stepney, though, I'm going to interrupt you because we're back out with Jack Dean, who has been the danger man for Farnham Town. Owen Dean. Cooksey. Owen Dean. Farnham's goals have come from this right-hand side. And it's still out there with Jack Dean. And he's won it again. And he's gone over. Nothing doing that time. Nice touch from Stepney. Nice from Mark Waters as well. Farnham getting control of the ball much better than they were, and that is a yellow card.
That's got to be a yellow card. I was just about to say how controlled Mark's been in there this evening. He's kind of just picked those deeper balls up.
What's interesting is even since the sub Clifton's come on for Sane, they're able to press so much worse.
Yeah.
Hayes, you know, Sane and Sippets had Stepney, Jackson and Jack Dean kind of pinned back.
Yeah, no,
But
you're right.
Since Clifton's come on, that's not quite the same story. And Jack Dean has got a hell of a lot more space going forward, and so does Ryan Canane and Jordan Stepney, and they do love to get on the ball because that frees up Harry Cooksey, Mark Waters, and those boys in the 10 positions as well to do their thing. And Harry Cooksey stands over the ball. It's a good delivery. Good header as well by the Hayes man. Croy back to Joe Jackson. Looks long for Cooksey.
Surely got to be something. 2 players are not going to just do that. And
quite an odd one, isn't it?
Yeah. Strange. I just feel like now Farnham's the only side which is going to score next.
Yeah, it's one of those games where Farnham won't want to hear the half-time whistle.
No, definitely not. Definitely not.
But do stay with us. During half-time we will be discussing the game and also the season so far. 2 of us will be spun round, the camera will be, and we will be discussing everything that's happened so far this season and maybe a bit of a look ahead to what could be next.
Didn't realise that. I might have to do my makeup and hair.
Well, it won't take long. Jack Dean with a lovely piece of control. Farnham probably have a couple more minutes of this first half to do the ultimate comeback. Jack Dean does really well to win a throw. Nice from Mark Waters into Joe Jackson. Huge amount of space and time for him. Nice from Waters. Jackson looked around the corner for
I like
Jack
the
Dean.
way that the timing of the pressure that we've kept on. We've kept playing, we've kept good possession.
Canane with a bit of a nosebleed as he comes forward, looking to drift one towards Croy. That's a poor header though from the right back. Gallagher. Jackson. Waters. Cooksey. That's nice into Owen Dean. Poor touch though from Dean. But excellent tackle. And again, in a game where it's level, you look at Farnham's bench and what can happen, and you look at
there's a lot on the bench.
the
which could
impact
make
that those
something
players can
happen,
have.
Definitely, yeah.
Great Evans in excellent goal scoring form. Sam Evans, new signing, with a fantastic goal record. Daryl Sanders probably doesn't need any introduction to most viewers.
I was going to say, somebody like Daryl, he's had...
That's a nice ball over the top though. And Zaki Wallace stuck to his line. Jordan Stepney's done really well to get his foot around that one. And that's poor from Sam Disson-Croy. Nice from
Well done.
Farnham Town, done really
that's
well
good.
here. Waters. That's good into Cooksey. Waters.
Keep moving it, Mark. That's
Liddell.
it. Better, well done.
Canane. Farnham probably going to create their last chance here. Gallagher can't quite force a corner, but it is going to come back out to Canane. Very limited men in the box for Farnham. Jack Dean round the corner for Adam Liddell, who is in the box. Still Jack Dean on that far side.
Looking for a delivery now.
Dean hobbling. Still Farnham in that corner. Adam Liddell looking for the way through, and in the end Farnham Town concede a throw-in. And that
There
is
we go.
half-time, and it's been very entertaining. Very entertaining.
Been a great game.
Farnham Town 2, Hayes 2. Two very early goals from Hayes and Yeading. Went 2-0 up inside, I think, 11 minutes. And
Two very good early goals. I think that was the little shock, really.
four excellent goals in general. And it's been an interesting game of football to watch, and we've got a very interesting 45 minutes ahead of us. What are you expecting?
I think Farnham, they carry on with how they've been playing for 40 minutes of that half. They will kind of grind him a little bit, and if they can stop their instant kind of counter-attacking or pressure around our box, as we've seen, we built up to that goal. We kind of had 2 or 3 half-decent opportunities, not quite having the impact where we probably instantly wanted because we'd gone 2-0 down, but we grew into that. And I think perfectly, looking at half-time, 2-2, been a great game to watch in general, really. 2 slightly different styles, but yeah, I think the 2 early goals have really kind of set the game off, and we've done exactly the right thing, coming back into it with some quality possession, good movement. I love it when we kind of play the quick play through the middle third. We always seem to get quality on the ball kind of that in the final third, and then like we all know, we've kind of got lads who can definitely finish, and we built to that and got 2 goals out of it.
Yeah, absolutely. And you've been a manager down here at Farnham Town in years past. What's the change of message going into the break 2-2 rather than what was staring down the barrel at 2-0 down?
I think at the first 5 to 10 minutes, I probably would have been thinking, really, like I've just said, I think you'd have belief in your players. You've got, where Farnham is now. If I'm in Paul Johnson's position, I don't think I would have been overly concerned. I would have been maybe shocked a little bit, but how we've grown into the game, that's exactly how I would have wanted it. And I think I'd be in there being positive now, where we needed really just keep the high level of possession. You can see how effective the right-hand side's been. And we've created probably more and slightly better opportunities than they have in the game. Yeah, they scored the 2 goals early. They put a bit of pressure around our box through us losing possession, probably in the middle third. But for me, it'd be positivity, because you've got a squad in there which is top of the league. Yes, they've had a little bit of a hiccup in the first 5-10 minutes, but it would all about be doing the same thing, be energetic, moving the ball quickly, coming out of the middle third. I mean, some of the interplay, Hayes haven't kind of been able to keep up with it. So for me, it would be start how we've just finished and don't get caught cold with anything.
Yeah, and I think that's obviously the potential issue for Farnham. You know, they're going to go and try and win this game. They know what's at stake. Probably 3 wins you the title.
Yeah.
But you know, at the same time, you don't want to be losing games at this part of the season, and people start to drag you in. Not that we're too worried about that with 15 points advantage, but it starts to dwindle quite quickly.
Yeah, that's a conversation I've had with a couple of players. It's strange, the points in front that we are, there's still a little kind of worry, which I kind of a little bit amazed with. They should be kind of nearly enjoying it, having that belief. Look at the games, I mean, you'll know it. Under Paul Johnson, how many league games have they lost since he's been at the club?
2.
We've got to lose a few more for us to lose something this season. And I just think there's not a nervousness, but just something built in the human body, which is kind of like we've not actually done it yet.
Yep.
And when you are maybe 0-0 for a long time, or like this evening, there would have 100% been a few players which have thought, whoa, hold on a minute, let's have a reset here. And like I said, they've done everything exactly right there. They did reset, they didn't panic, because the way Hayes were kind of heading into 15 minutes, they could have easily quite had another opportunity against a different side with a different approach mentally to it. And like I said, Farnham have just been 100% in that for me, how that game started.
Yeah, and it's been the fullbacks that have been the real outlet for Farnham. Joe Jackson's had a lot of space right in front of us, and Jack Dean has been the sort of the architect of the Farnham goals so far, and they've had a huge amount of the ball.
Yeah, and I think with Joe, what you find if you kind of look back in the game is where you've got a kind of right-footed player on the left-hand side, he's actually been able to get the play to Jack. That sounds a bit extreme because they're completely opposite sides, but where Joe's got forward into maybe the top side of the middle third, he naturally comes inside and the ball's got out again, and Jack's been high, and yeah, like I said, we've been quite dominant down in that, what I would call that kind of top quarter, to get balls into the box, which has created the opportunities that we've had.
And then there'll be boys sat on the bench, Great Evans, Sam Evans, even Daryl Sanders finds himself in those positions, who will be very frustrated that there's been some balls that have managed to go all the way through.
Yeah.
And, you know, true number 9 sitting on the bench, probably looking at it going, hope this keeps up for the next 45 minutes, and I'm going to come and nab us the winner here.
Yeah, exactly, and that what you've just finished saying there, I think not even position of where they would be, but I think if I'm sat on the bench as an attacking player, it's that game where you get the feeling at this, if this carries on to kind of 60 minutes, you're looking at the gaffer thinking, get me on, I want to get the winner, and that's what you want from those type of players.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know, not just sat there, I'm going to go on and do a job in a position in a game. You want to go on and want to score, and that could end up being the winner, which has a lot more headline, especially in the game the way it started.
Absolutely. Huge credit to Hayes though. I think they've been really good. They set up obviously to press high. They have 2 very fast, small forwards in Jose Sane and George Sippets. Sippets obviously scored an absolutely fantastic goal, and if you haven't seen it, do rewind. I think it was the 11th or the 12th minute, and it's really quite some goal.
Yeah.
But since the change, we talked about it in commentary, but since that change where Sane was forced off of a hamstring issue and you got a very different number 9 in Adrian Clifton coming on, that press hasn't been as powerful.
No.
And that's allowed Farnham a bit more space and time in these middle parts of the pitch, which they do, you know, and have this season been so dangerous with the ball.
Yeah, definitely. And I think with that change, the timing of that change and the way Farnham have got back into the game, it was all perfect timing for us. Because like you said, they have dropped off a little bit. They've not pressed as much as they were. And I think going in at 2-2 from their point of view, I wouldn't say it feels like they're behind, but all their great work early on has gone out the window, and we've been the more dominant side through the 45 minutes, which it would definitely be playing on my mind if I've got a Hayes shirt on. Yeah, we've done what we've done, but we've not really had lots of the ball, so what do we now try and create? And like you say, with the change, that press has not disappeared, but it's definitely faltered a lot more.
Yeah, absolutely. Who would be the player that you'd look to bring on first? You've got Great Evans, Sam Evans, new signing, Daryl Sanders.
Kai Tanner.
Kai Tanner, of course. And Ben Purcell. You've got very different players.
I think you would be looking 20 minutes in if... Because like I said, the players out there have not done a lot wrong. They just 1 or 2 individuals lost a bit of concentration early on. and it was clinically kind of damage was done from that part. But you look at the bench, I mean, yeah, I mean, we want to go and win it, and you've got every tool on the bench to go and win it.
Yeah.
So the name I've mentioned is probably going to end up being probably the last change. You've got Darryl Evans. You got
Darryl Evans on the bench now, have we?
No, not Darryl Evans. Darryl Sanders on the bench. We could have Darryl Evans if we knew him, but we don't really know him. But no, Darryl, I just think he's great, and I think in any situation, if you're happy with what is maybe a little bit in front of him and it's still 2-2, maybe that extra creativity through the middle area, because that's where it tends to kind of be 18-yard width instead of how we've gone and got both goals. Yeah, he'd probably be my first choice. Then you've still got other firepower with Sam and Gray, basically.
Yeah, absolutely. Let's talk about the potential next season. We obviously don't want to jinx too much, but we are 15 points clear at the top of the league, and we only have 9 games to go.
Oh, I feel quite comfortable talking about next season.
Next season, it's going to come around quick. Farnham Town haven't been at step 4 ever, and we're looking like we're going to limit our time in the step 4 league and go straight into step 3. What are you expecting that to look like? It's obviously a huge amount more travel, lots more expectation of players and behind the scenes staff. What's the...
Yeah, I think you kind of, whatever club you're at, and you get yourselves into step 3, especially the speed it looks like that Farnham are going to drop into it. I think right the way through the club there's a lot to kind of not sharpen up on, but just make sure that you're kind of aware of you're falling into proper non-league. I mean,
it's probably the first time that Farnham will find themselves in the last few years ahead on the pitch than they have been off the pitch.
Yeah, and I'm kind of a perfect example of that. I've seen the playing side at a lesser level be well in front of what's going on behind the scenes. Then behind the scenes, people realise that the infrastructure becomes better, yourself getting involved, past Ed Kelsin, all these previous people at certain times have been able to, off the field, get everything else in order. But now we've kind of, in a short period of time, crept to where we are. And I think, and you're the man to answer it really, you fall into step 3 with where we are. I think we're on a level par there.
I agree.
And with your personality and everything which else is going on, I think from a playing point of view in step 3, yeah, we want to probably stabilise, we want to compete in a lot more games than you kind of would want to falter in. And in football now, you compete reasonably well, you might find yourselves in a playoff position.
Absolutely.
If that happened at Farnham next season, I think we'd be a little bit concerned off the pitch.
Yeah, and then it becomes question mark.
Yeah, the speed on the field is going then would be nearly too quick for being able to adapt. And for me to even contemplate saying Farnham in step 2, I think we need to just not settle and be negative, but just be sure where, if that's the ambition, and we probably will need to have that time to settle and compete in step 3, but stabilise in step 3 for a period of time.
Absolutely. The boys have just come out, and we'll keep filling time for the next couple of minutes. But this is a big 45 minutes, not just for Farnham Town's title push, but also for Hayes and Yeading's promotion push themselves in the playoffs. Last night, Leatherhead scored in the last second to beat Hanworth Villa. That will have made a big impact on the league. Hartley won their game. It's massively bunched up.
It's a strange one, because you could have probably seen the playoff positions a month or so ago. I thought, yeah, that's probably who's going to come out of that group. But like you say, it's all changing. And like with Hayes, you know, they really have to go and win this game, which they kind of look like they wanted to do. But our control and dominance with the ball, like I said, has overrun that slightly now, and we've got back in. And I would hope that carries on to a level, and we can just grind them down a little bit. And I think if we are the next scorers, I think mentally they might just falter a little bit more then.
Yeah, and sort of look at the table. Farnham, obviously, as it stands, the deficit for Kingstonian has been cut to 13 points from first to second, with us drawing and Kingstonian beating Guernsey 1-0. Hayes and Yeading are would move to 6th ahead of Hartley Whitney, but having played one game extra and also one game more than Hamworth Villa. The most equitable team to Hayes and Yeading, 61 points, would be Ascot United on 65, 4 points back, same games played. So a big 45 minutes for Hayes and Yeading. If they can find the winner and get out of the Memorial Ground with 3 points, it puts them comfortably into the playoff positions and really looking up the table rather than down. And that will be what the message from Andy and Simon in the Hayes dressing room. But they know they're up against it. Farnham Town had a fantastic end to the first half, and will look to replicate it. And they know that Farnham are dangerous off the bench.
I think, like I said, if I'm in the Hayes dressing room, I would just be telling them probably be a bit patient with Farnham's possession. Make sure they kind of stay away from Hayes' 18-yard box, and then maybe try and play a little bit of a counter game, because I think they've shown they've got the pace, definitely shown they've got the ability to score a goal. But I just feel personally that we've got the dominance with the ball, which will grind that out of them a little bit.
Absolutely. And here come the Hayes and Yeading United side, who have put on an excellent display so far, scoring 2 goals. First team to score 2 goals here since, I'm going to kind of think back to Horndean at home. I'm guessing someone will text me telling me I'm wrong, but Horndean at home was 2-2. It was a very different game. Farnham went ahead in both instances. 1-0, pegged back to 1-1, 2-1, pegged back to 2-2. This game very, very different game script. Hayes 2-0 up in the first 12, 13 minutes. Farnham pegging them back and maybe feel like they should be going into the break 3-2 after a few good chances. And Farnham will be looking to take all 3 points here in this second half.
I think that's the thing with Farnham. They actually created more than what they've scored, where Hayes have scored 2 absolute cracking goals, but not really had...
Well, Zaki really hasn't have to make a save outside of things that have dribbled into him. The Hayes goalkeeper has, and then there's been a few shots that have gone over, or crosses that haven't connected with the Farnham player correctly. Think back to Croy, who went out for a corner. Croy close quarters shot. Gallagher got in behind at one point, couldn't get his first touch. That's probably one of the best chances of the game.
Yeah, no, you're right. I'm just watching everyone congregate now down on the clock end. That end's definitely going to come alive, I think, in the second half.
Yeah, and it will be the Hayes and Yeading fans versus the Farnham fans looking to suck in that ball for Hayes and Yeading as they kick towards the clock end in this second half. You can hear the Hayes fans. They know this is a big 45 minutes for them, and they get us back underway. Send it forward towards Adrian Clifton.
I think we definitely need 10-15 minutes, as usual football kind of saying. Keep hold of the ball.
That's
He's offside. Build back into how we finished that first half.
Well, it's quite exciting for us because lots of the ball and success was found on the right hand side, which is now going to be right in front of us with
I hope so.
Jack Dean and Owen Dean.
As I look across to the left hand side at the moment.
Yes.
Have you put your name down for the possible performance at the end of the season, Harry?
What am I expected to do? Some half-time entertainment
start of next season. I do apologise.
I think I'm going to elect myself to be in the dugout with Paul Johnson. More details will be released of that opportunity in the next few weeks, with opportunities to get involved yourself as fans. But this is an early opportunity for Hayes to get the ball into the Farnham box. Long throw. Saw a few of them in the first half for both teams. And it's a good throw. Stepney rises. And it's away by Jack Dean. Volleyed.
How do you feel, Harry, with 90 minutes played, game ends 2-2?
I think I'd be a bit disappointed as a viewer, let alone as a fan of Farnham Town. Such a good end to the half.
Yeah,
as the ball comes in again.
That's what I kind of feel. You don't want the game to change, really, do you? You want them to keep pressing.
Great header from Disancroy, looking for Gallagher. Owen Dean has the ball. It's a poor touch, though.
His foot.
That's a great one, though.
He's
That is
offside.
Offside. It's a great pass from Owen Dean.
Even the linesman in the Prepper Army stand has said and shouted no way there, so I'm not sure.
There's a classic Jordan Gallagher run, peeling off the last man on that far side. You know what he'll try and do when he gets the ball at his feet.
Very good at peeling off the last man and dribbling at his feet.
Header by Clifton. Canane wins it. Flicked on. This is nice.
Oh,
A better pass would have been a real
Yeah.
piece of danger for Farnham. As Joe Jackson launches it forward, looking for Gallagher. And he's causing a nuisance back there, Gallagher.
Yeah, he's well done.
Really good from Gallagher, and Farnham win the ball up high.
That's
and that is a foul.
Yeah, Jordan and Lids has done well there just to kind of keep that ball in possession for Farnham. I think it was Sam, wasn't it? Sam impeded there for the foul.
It was, and it was the number 17 who is on a booking. And I think that's what Harry Cooksey was just saying to the referee.
I'll be honest, if you looked at that, you'd probably say that is a yellow card.
Certainly one of those where it's on the way.
Yeah.
Will Farnham Town carve an opening here?
I mean, an early goal from Farnham.
Change the dynamic of the game yet again.
Yeah. I think Hayes would definitely have to open up a little bit more then. Not that they've kind of closed ranks at all. They've, especially this early on, this half's not really started. We're not sure where it's going to pan out at the moment.
Cooksey over the ball. Little dummy. Ball goes in, that's over here.
I think the word dummy there was a good description.
Yeah, with this pitch, with how much it bounces right now, with how hard it is, you just want to see the ball sort of be taken at the goal, bouncing just before the goalkeeper. And anything can happen. We've seen a few,
especially in our goal mouths.
Yeah, so you've seen a few spilt down that end in the last couple of weeks. Header by Mark Waters. And the Hayes fans have taken over the clock end stand.
Yeah, they've definitely filled there, haven't they?
Good atmosphere here in the Memorial Ground.
Another great numbers in, aren't there, really? If you look at a Wednesday, the amount of football that we've had down here, kind of still having
That's
people
a poor
turn
header.
up.
Well defended by Herson Alves. Good tackle by Disancroy, but the Hayes player comes away with the ball. That's nice. That's
well
really
done.
nice from
That's
Farnham
a
Town.
lovely little bit of play.
Owen Dean.
No,
And towards
it's
Gallagher.
behind
That's a
him,
poor
behind
pass.
him.
That's a handball, though.
Oh, he's played on. I'll give the referee that.
Cooksey loses the ball.
Oh,
And it's looking for Sippets, number 9. Clifton. Hines. Waters away. Herson Alves wins the ball back, though. Hines.
definitely come out with a bit more intent, haven't they, than the way they finished.
Yeah.
So they've had like kind of 20 minutes of a little breather, and now they kind of realise that they need to get back in front again.
Throw comes in.
Could be interesting.
Headed away really nicely by Jack Dean. Little turns his man. Ball is kept in. Gallagher closing down the goalkeeper.
was like listening to the referee and those little incidents. Lids is kind of having a bit of a complaint about being held.
Ooh, that's an interesting one from Kenane and Stepney. Very brave.
Brave, confidence, or lucky. I'm not sure which one that was there.
As Daryl Sanders starts to ready himself below us.
Is he? Thought that.
Waller goes short in the end to Jackson, who dives inside, does really well. Now needs to find a pass, does so to Owen
comes.
Dean.
He can get out. Well done.
Kenane goes long, skewed up in a bit.
Casually long that was.
And it's Cooksey who wins the ball. Ooh, that was a 50-50 challenge.
So that was 1 foot away from being something that it probably wasn't.
Yeah, James Richmond had to win that one cleanly. As Mark Waters has the ball now, and it's Kenane who steps in. Into Owen Dean, rifled into him. Dean does really well. Looks for his brother. Jack Dean, powering through. He's kicked it with about 8 of his feet there. As Mark Waters luckily comes away with the ball. Cooksey dropping in to the back line. Sam Disson-Croy looking wide. But Hines wins the ball. And it's away.
Poor touch there from the number 9.
When he comes inside, someone's got to make a run.
Joe Jackson, nice touch. Forcing Clifton back. He won't want to do that work. Jackson with the ball into Liddell. Jackson!
Oh, that's unlucky.
Nice strike. Better from Farnham. Nice from Adam Liddell. But that's another sign that Adrian Clifton isn't going to want to do the hard yards back. The same that Jose Sane did in the first half. Header from Joe Jackson, followed up by Mark Waters. He does so again.
I like the way both sides are competing with each other at a good level. They kind of, no one's really sitting off and waiting.
Stepney, that's into the feet of Clifton, looks into the channel for Sippett, but Zaki Waller and Ryan Kenane combined to get themselves out of danger. Yeah, it's a rare instance where a team has come to Memorial Ground and tried to win the game.
Yeah, definitely. And I mean, like you say, they're in a position where they really need to think like that if they're going to creep into kind of a playoff space.
Absolutely.
Which again is.
That's a poor pass. It was a lazy pass, and Sippett is in here. Hines.
Just trying to make up for it.
Jackson coming back. He gets Bangura.
Oh dear.
And Farnham Town get away with it really, but it is a corner kick. That was lazy. Seen plenty of corners up this end of the pitch. First half with Farnham Town now.
Both halves I've kind of been looking to the left mainly. Interesting time again really at this point. Something goes on.
Yeah, about 10 minutes played so far in this second half. As Hayes looked to crowd the back stick with this corner. Great Evans starting to warm himself up down that end as well.
People to be dominant in here, well done.
That's nicely done by Farnham. That isn't nicely done by Hayes.
A little bit wasted there. Don't know why, I've just got a feeling somebody is going to win this game.
Disson-Croy battling away on that far side. As is Liddell, does win the ball back momentarily. Oof.
I think he fell over the ball, to be honest.
I think he did. He's still got the ball, and he's done really well. That ball getting caught up all over the place. Somehow Farnham still haven't come away with it. But Hayes have. And Jordan Stepney uses his body really well. Waters. Look to be hooked clear.
Not clearing it any distance here.
Owen Dean does the same. Farnham need to
Gonna foul.
be more sensible with the ball. That was silly tackle from Owen
You
Dean.
see that building up. It's disappointing in losing the ball.
You know, both the Evans and Sanders going for a proper pre-sub warm-up.
I don't know if the timing of 3 or 2 coming on at the way this game's going, I'm not sure I'd be wanting to change too many
Ball
players.
comes in, it's a good one.
It's a great ball in.
Flicked around, and it's a corner ball. That could have gone absolutely anywhere.
Yeah.
Farnham just really not able to get the ball out, make a good connection with the clearance.
A little bit of nervousness, if that's a word.
I think it is.
Oh, okay. We got away with that one then.
Hayes have started brightly in this second half.
Never fault my English teacher.
Just your barber.
Who's that?
Just your barber.
Just my barber. Well, I can't really fault him. He didn't really have a lot to do later in life.
Ball comes in. That's a nice ball.
Oh, well done. It's
Stepney
good
does
defending.
Farnham trying to hook it away again, but Liddell comes away with it this time.
Oh, foul, yeah.
And finally, Farnham relieves some pressure.
Referee did not like that one. That's a great reaction for the referee. Forceful yellow card there.
For Caelan Hines. Number 10 for Hayes and Yeading. Picks up his...
I don't know why. I think I find now a few of those little incidents now, the referee's going to be bringing his card out a lot more.
Yeah, I think you're right. So far, no yellows for the Farnham Town team. 2 yellows for Hayes and Yeading.
We've still got a few warming. Oh, yeah. Looks like Darrell's.
Stripped and ready.
Yeah. And great. Looks like he's on his way on. Darrell and Gray Evans, as mentioned at half time.
Poor kick from Zaki Waller.
We've fallen into that a little bit again these last kind of 5 minutes. A little bit over that as well, where we've not been confident in our possession. And to be fair, credit to Hayes, they put that pressure back on.
Clifton. Nicely blocked by Canane, who gets out as far as a throw-in. And it is, Sanders and Gray Evans who will making an entrance into this game. A few options for Farnham in order to add those 2 players in. Will Owen Dean stay on the pitch? Will he get moved up into a more conventional 9 role?
Yeah, I'm not sure who's going to come off, really, to be honest.
Ball comes in. Risen highest was Jordan Stepney. And again, Stepney. And a push in the back. And Farnham Town can get the ball clear and potentially make their substitutions.
Here we go.
It is Sanders and Croy for Darrell Sanders. It's actually all 3. It's Sam Evans, Great Evans, and Darrell Sanders.
Not Darrell Evans then either.
No Darrell Evans.
No Darrell Evans.
It's not 1996.
A little bit sorry there for Sam. He's kind of put some good minutes in there. But when you've got a player...
Jordan Gallagher coming off for Great Evans. And then this, I imagine, will be Adam Liddell. It is. A whole new front line for Farnham Town.
Yeah, that definitely... Yeah.
We've seen it a few times and it's worked. but it's a more physical front line for Farnham.
Yeah, I think that's quite a good decision, the way that Hayes kind of...
They'll be looking to get the ball into Daryl Sanders' feet. Jack Dean long and away, looking for Sam Evans down into the channel. Physical defender.
Oh, that's giving it to us.
Yeah, Evans battled well with the defender, and Farnham instantly get themselves.
I think they're asking for a penalty here.
I mean, it started about 30 yards. Well, this is a great opportunity out of absolutely nothing for Farnham.
It's really, I thought they were both really just being kind of...
It's one of those you see that never gets given because a goal kick's probably the fair option. But it is Harry Cooksey that's going to stand over it. Nice and close. Chance for Cooksey to put in a ball. It's a good one for Kinane! Stepney!
Oh,
What a miss.
Try to place that with his head gently in. That would have taken the big sting out of them if we'd been able to put that away.
Well, instant impact from Sam Evans, running the channel with his strength and his pace. It's completely different.
Yeah, I like the look of him.
Completely different option than what we've seen so far from Farnham Town's front two. So the ball's launched forward and Cooksey with the header. Owen Dean looking for Evans. Can't quite get his touch, but Owen Dean does well.
Not sure he knew much about that, but he's shut that down quite well. It's funny, I'm kind of watching Hayes and Yeading up, attacking our end. Completely swayed again.
Yeah, it's Joe Jackson. Sanders with his first touch of the ball. He will look to peel off onto that left-hand side and attract a defender or two. Cooksey. That's a nice touch from Cooksey. Want to end up going backwards though. And Sanders goes round the corner looking for Evans. Waters doesn't look. And Stepney gets him out of trouble in a big way.
Nearly.
That's nice, though, from Hayes and Yeading. And Jack Dean uses all his experience.
Yes, experience there, definitely.
That's good from Owen Dean. Great Evans. Still great Evans.
Oh, spectator, straight on top of the head.
And scores in the other game. It's Kingstonian 3, Guernsey 0. Not necessarily a shocking result,
no,
but one that does obviously impact both of these teams. Sanders wins the ball and gets it back.
That's where I
looking for Sam Evans. It's a nice pass from Sanders. And a nice touch from Sam Evans. Looking for Daryl Sanders. Owen Dean. Nice touch from Owen Dean, but just over here.
A little bit too heavy.
A lovely long distance 1-2 from Sanders and Evans.
Much prefer Daryl to be more central when you see him there. I think that opens up for his vision.
About 25 minutes left.
It's gone quickly.
Excellent contest. Excellent contest.
I still feel somebody's going to win it.
Hines as Hayes come forward. And that's a great tackle by Jack Dean.
Well, it's definitely been a proper little Wednesday night game.
It has attracted a crowd of 350 and plenty more online, nearly 1,000 people watching us online.
Really, that's great.
As Hayes gets back underway from the throw-in. Bangura plays it inside. That's a nice pass.
Oh,
and a great
it's a good little move there. Very good little move.
Very similar move to how Farnham scored in the first half, but on the opposite side.
Oh, I think the cramp's setting again.
As George Sippets this time goes down for Hayes and Yeading.
No, you're taking the instructions from everyone else, aren't you?
Farnham Town have had a few chances in this second half, so have Hayes.
Yeah,
like you say, it feels like a game that isn't going to finish 2. It's the commentator's curse.
That is, yes. Everyone's gone out and made a cup of tea now, that's been said. Cameraman's looking more stressed than the centre forward for Hayes and Yeading at the moment.
2 goals for Stan Flaherty and a single goal for top goal scorer in the league, Eddie Simon. I think that is his 30th league goal of the season, Eddie Simon, for Kingstonian.
God, there's a record.
As George Sippets is going to be replaced by number 19, Fabio Sepan Athale. Looks again a very different prospect to what Farnham's centre-back pairing have had to deal with so far in this game. Very different front two than what started this game for Hayes and Yeading. So are Farnham though. Physical, big men at both ends of the field now. The technicians have gone off and they're on have come the cavalry.
Yeah, it's a little bit like that. I think the reputation that Hayes and their kind of body strength they have in their side, I think it's a little bit needed, to be honest. Definitely an evening for everyone to compete out there. I'm not sure the word comfortable comes into anything at the moment.
Ball comes forward from
I never know with those because he has barged him, but is that just a lack of strength or unknown that someone's coming in there to do it? But obviously the referee instantly kind of gave that.
Cooksey dribbles forward, turns out. That was a nasty one.
Yeah, it's a little sneaky late one there.
Stepney. Cooksey forward to Owen Dean. Jack Dean. This is becoming a scrap now. Mark Waters looking for Sanders. That's a nice touch. As is that. Sanders into Evans. And that's a poor touch.
That is a proper neat bit of skill there by Darryl.
Waters. Return pass is nice to Evans. Oh, another good ball in.
Great game to watch.
Much better from Farnham.
Proper little battle all the way through it now. I think with the players that are on the side on the pitch from both. I think your physicality's kind of stretched right up now.
That was a great chance though for Sam Evans. If he got his first touch out of his feet, just a way to even prod it past the goalkeeper. Cooksey with the header.
going out for a throw.
Game is definitely slowing down. It's going to be a game of very few chances left. It's certainly a battle now.
Yeah, I think the
Characters on the pitch have changed, that's for sure.
Exactly that, the physical side and a few different characters out there now. You might see a few more cards from the
That's a
referee.
nasty one.
That's not something that you really want to be dealing with, but he's done reasonably well
He's
there.
done really well, Zaki. Cooksey. Looking for...
Oh, let it roll. Hard luck,
Owen Dean,
hard luck.
look for Sam Evans. Owen Dean round the corner to Jack Dean. He's going to be flying. Maybe he could have taken the first touch round him.
Referee.
He's got to go. He's got to go. He's on a yellow.
10's off now.
Yeah.
He's not.
He has. He's booked.
I think he's just checking his top notepad now, and I think you'll see the red come out. There you go.
Caelan Hines is sent to the dressing room. The referee took his time to make the decision, but that was a reckless tackle, and it was definitely a yellow card. And Hayes chasing the game for their 3 points that they very desperately need. In the last 17 minutes, will play with 10 men.
Timely, the comment of referee coming out with more cards as the way the physical side started to come up, and then you see a tackle like that.
Experienced player as well, Caelan Hines. Came through the Arsenal Academy. He's played in the Bundesliga in Germany. But it was a restless tackle.
Yeah, it's kind of not a lot of thought in that, knowing that he's already on a yellow. I know the game felt like these things were going to happen, but that's not helped his side at all.
Cooksey's had plenty of opportunities to get the ball into the box. Looking for Kinane. That's a nice header. That's a great touch from Clifton. It needed to be. Owen Dean with a nice touch. Cooksey. Rolling it into space, but no one's there. And now Farnham need to get back. Sam Evans is going to do a lot of running. Stopped him. Cooksey. Cooksey again. And Kinane round the corner. Owen Dean flicking it on. Great Evans looking to win it as well. Great Evans is going to... He's going to win the throw. It's excellent from Farnham Town.
Great.
They've been lowered into a battle,
yeah.
And that's what they're going to do themselves.
Definitely changed this half, the style of the game. We talked about high possession and getting back into the game, getting the goals.
Referee's going to go and have a word with the Hayes and Yeading bench.
I think the Hayes and Yeading management team were just asking the referee how he'd got on with his mock GCSEs.
Daryl Sanders on the ball, looking to lift it. It's a nice ball into
Great little ball.
Joe Jackson. And that's a heavy tackle, but it's a corner. Farnham Town have had plenty of opportunities to get the ball in the box from set pieces.
How many other Hayes and Yeading players are on yellows?
Just 17.
Don't know, I just, again...
Goes short. Daryl Sanders clips it in. His header up more than away.
Oh, that's loose.
Farnham Town need to defend this, and they do so well.
Oh,
Jack
no,
Dean,
Jack. Back
bit
and
of
forth.
indecision.
Well done.
Does well in the end.
Good enough. Definitely both sides need to be competing right to the end of this game now. Someone's going to come out a winner. I think if one side starts dropping off, they're going to be the side which comes out losing the game.
Ball goes forward, long. Farnham throw. Nice touch from Evans. Done really well though, Sam Evans.
Yeah.
Daryl Sanders is going to have a bit of space in front of him. Sanders!
Oh.
Corner. He forced a huge amount of space in front of him for a shot. Joe Jackson did brilliantly on the overlap on the left-hand side. Sanders beginning to get a bit of space. And again, we say it, but Farnham have a chance to get the ball into the box. This must be their 10th corner or so. Yet to make a real true connection with the header. Maybe this is the time. Cooksey over the ball. Deep. Kinane.
Oh, where are we going again?
Corner ball again.
The corner.
They're looking for Kinane every time in a deep shot.
Go! Go! Make the referee aware! Referee, watch the keeper! Referee, watch the brush on the keeper! There we go!
Bit of handbags in the box. Cooksey. That's a good ball. Stepney!
Yeah!
Saved. Corner ball.
That's a great save.
It was a great header. I'm not sure if it was going in or not, but it was a excellent stop. Reactions from Pazio. Farnham are raining down.
In the 6-yard box now.
Referee, you watching? Referee!
Another ball comes in. That's a good header. Jack Dean out wide again. Cooksey's a lovely touch. Outside the boot. Mark Waters. Stepney is going to be great. Evans! Great block. Farnham are turning the screw. Joe Jackson. Can he find his way through? He can. He's into the box. Joe Jackson. It's Daryl Sanders. Handball! Surely! Surely!
Wow.
That looked like a clear handball. Referee had a great view of it. He said his hands were by his side. He agrees with us, it hit him. Cooksey. Farnham have a man extra and are causing problems for Hayes and Yeading.
Definitely squeezed back after the sending off, haven't they?
Great Evans, he's done really well, Great Evans. Looks to clip it up. Jack Dean!
Oh.
Goalkeeper does well to keep it in. Owen Dean's limping.
It's like Ben's stripped off, ready to come on.
Farnham probably going to use his forward passing. Stepney with an excellent header into a dangerous space. That's good from Sam Evans. Looking now over the top for Great Evans.
Really sure kind of why Hayes' bench is shouting there. I mean, that's, if anything, it looked the other way, but
Joe
they're both
Jackson.
doing exactly the same
Great
thing.
Evans. Nice turn from Evans. Sanders now. It's a lovely ball in. And it's just behind Sam Evans, and Owen Dean's gone down.
I think he picked up the problem a little bit earlier on. He was limping a bit. Oh.
It's Kai Tanner and Ben Purcell are ready.
Are we talking about physicality going into the game?
Well, with a man advantage, Farnham are going to see a lot of the ball in the next 10 minutes.
A little bit concerning there with Owen.
And it will be Owen who is going to make way once he gets back to his feet, and it will be Ben Purcell who comes on.
Nothing on the board. Harry Cooksley.
Second substitute for Farnham leading the field will be in place of number 2, Farnham Town.
Adam, four. Who's coming off?
And coming off,
Chris, who's coming off? Bob thingy.
Will Salmon is going to make an entrance into this game. Not 100% sure, neither the Hayes bench sure who's coming off.
A little bit of a lull, but hopefully Owen...
Owen is back to his feet. He's going to limp off the pitch.
not looking in the best of order.
What number is Hershey? Thank you.
Substitution for Hayden Yeading going off is number 8, Hudson Alves. Number 14, Adrian.
Definitely a little bit of a concern there, the way he's moving.
Yeah, Owen Dean has been a star man so far this season for Farnham Town.
Big shame there if he's a few weeks out towards the end of the season, but you never know.
He is limping and making his own way around the pitch, which is the only positive I can really report on. Kai Tanner coming in his place in that 10 role. Ben Purcell coming in for Harry Cooksley. As the ball comes forward for Hayes, maybe that break in play will help their momentum, because they have a chance to get the ball into the box here. The 10 men of Hayes.
Well, however it finishes, it's been a great game to watch in every area of a game of football. A bit more control in the first half from both sides, especially Farnham, and the physical side of the game 100% has come into it in the second half.
Here come the Hayes cavalry into the box. One chance for the 10 men of Hayes. It's a good header.
Great deep throw in there. That's going to go out of the throat.
Farnham throw. Probably got 10 minutes total with the added time. And a few injuries in this game. Waters. Ryan Canane looking in round the corner for Evans. Nice header from Sanders. Great touch from Evans. And it's the other Evans now. Great Evans! Oh, there was just no one there to turn it home. It was a great save.
Yeah, it's a great low save. I think we've definitely got a little exciting 5 to 10 minutes here.
We do. Joe Jackson. Farnham are camped in the... Waters. Purcell. First proper touch of the ball for him. Moves it across to Jack Dean into Sanders. He had a bit more space than he thought. Stepney. Daryl Sanders wants the ball at every opportunity. Sanders. Jack Dean. That's a poor touch from Dean, but into Sanders. Kai Tanner. Great Evans.
He's offside.
And offside, but that's nice interplay from Farnham. They will get a chance.
Yeah, I think we definitely have 1 or 2 opportunities before the end of the game.
Great work, son. Keep rolling. Keep rolling. Ads, big community. Ray!
Little individual battles going on here when you look around when the ball's in a dead position.
Header is good from Ryan Canane. Martin with the header, the new introductee to this game. Kai Tanner away, and that's a nice ball over the top. And Great Evans is going to be in here. And it's very soft. Very soft.
I'm sure what
James
the
Richmond.
referee's seen there.
Come on, hey! 5 more minutes!
Pazio made some good save in the second half. Forward, Canane with a header, it's a good one. Into Jackson, who has a huge amount of space. Now Sanders, who kicks it on to Sam Evans. He's going to shift towards his man. Goes outside, comes inside. Sam Evans shoots. Blocked by the private parts of Robinson. Steps, and it's a handball. Farnham get going quickly.
Oh, referee's now pulling it back.
Sam Evans worked a great space there, came outside, went inside, got his shot away. For a moment I thought he was going to be the hero.
You always seem to pull out a little hero in a game, so like I said, on 1 or 2 opportunities I still think are going to come our way.
Stepney inviting Canane forward. He obliges. Canane looking deep, looking for Evans. Oh, the keeper's done really well there,
He has
Pazio.
done well there.
Up against Sam
Surely he'll
Evans.
stay on the deck for another few seconds.
Yeah, this is a great point for Hayes. Not a terrible point for Farnham Town.
Not in this game, definitely. If it does stay as it is, the way the game's been played, you kind of be happy.
Hayes do get the ball down in the Farnham half for the first time in quite some time. Ball comes in. Stepney avoids the turn, but that's sloppy defending. But Stepney steps in again and does really well to get it away, and it's into
Hold
the
it
feet
up,
of
hold it up.
Great Evans, who gets it to Ben Purcell. Does really well. Jack Dean lets it run across his body. I'm looking for Kai Tanner down the line with the classic Owen Dean touch across the box. Great Evans.
Oh,
Farnham
there's
Town
a
got time. Build it.
lot of nervous
Purcell.
touches in the 80 there.
Jack Dean. Purcell. Sanders. Turns on the ball. Round the corner for Tanner, who can't quite get the perfect touch, but it's blocked by Sanders. It is an exciting end to this game. Purcell. That's not a great ball at all by Ben Purcell.
I think that's exactly what Jack Dean thought of that. He's put that straight in the car park. 8 minutes.
8 minutes of additional time. Hayes are going to try and bleed that clock down. Farnham Town will think they'll have a chance. Stepney. Waller out to Joe Jackson, who's got space in front of him. That's a silly thing to do from Jackson. And here comes Clifton. Still Clifton. Still Clifton. Canane back across.
Canane's done well there.
Done really well. Farnham can't afford to lose the ball like that. Tanner. Sanders with a bit of time and space. Sanders still. Jack Dean going to get to the byline.
He's done well.
And that's just been kept in. Well done by the goalkeeper again, who is going to bleed the clock himself.
Oh. Playing the minutes very well coming into these last few. Hayes desperate for this point. 10 men. Even now with the ball in play, referee's not starting the game because there's too many having a drink on the sideline.
Cannons off the Hayes striker. That's not clever from the Hayes defender. That's nice from Martin. He gets the ball down and it's hoofed forward and caught by Zaki Waller.
Oh. I'm sure what happened there.
Farnham still come forward. We're 3 minutes of added time. Purcell. Farnham will try and carve out one or two last attacks. We have time. 5 minutes or so. Joe Jackson touches in front of him. Someone's got to make a run for him though. That's nice. But it's crowded out. Waters. Looking for Sanders now. Oh, he's missed the ball about 5 times, Sanders.
He's got mixed up himself there.
But the ball has only gone as far as Mark Waters, and Farnham can go against Purcell. Sanders back on the ball. Takes the touch, and Farnham will probably get a corner, and they do.
They take the corner.
We're into the last knockings, that's for sure.
Yeah, definitely. I think we need one more big opportunity here.
They've had plenty of practice on these set pieces, Farnham Town. In this game, there must have been 10 to 12, and in comes Sanders' ball. That's not a great one, but it's come out to the edge of the box for Purcell.
Oh, he was sizing up a shot then.
Purcell. That's a poor ball from Purcell, but it is going to go straight to the feet of Jack Dean, as is Farnham's attacking threat. Canane. Jackson.
No.
Kicked clear by Martin, the substitute. Waters. Purcell. Sanders. Jack Dean. Does well to beat his man, Jack Dean. Does really well to get into the box. It's Kaitana. Stepney!
Oh.
On his weaker right foot. Sails it over the bar. Thought it opened up for Kai there. Thought it opened up for him. Instead he elected to pass it across goal.
It's not being able to have that extra little bit of quality that we had in the first half in front of goal, have we? Taking the ball to decent areas with a lot of pressure around that 6-yard area, but not had that decent approach to finish it. I'm not sure how much longer we've got now.
Couple of minutes as that ball sails straight out of play, and Farnham will look to carve out one more chance. That was one of them. Stepney's volley from 20 yards over the bar, but Purcell's on the ball now. Canane. Jack Dean nicely into Kaitana. That's a nice header. Purcell. Farnham need to keep the ball. Keep it on the ground, ideally. Canane. Farnham sense one last chance. About 90 seconds to go. That's nice from Farnham. Evans, though, pulled out to the left-hand side. Sanders. In Evans. Never a foul. Oh,
You see that happening.
silly. An easy one for the referee to give.
I'm not sure if that time's going our way now.
That felt like the opportunity.
I'm sure he's going to have any speed of getting up there.
I'll be pretty disappointed in Hayes if they cheer this point. I mean, they've obviously earned it in the last 45 minutes, an excellent defensive display.
Yeah, again, I think...
And especially down to 10 men for the last 15.
Yeah, I think they would have been happy with 11 men, but I think they'd be even happier now with 10 men. Especially the pressure that we put on.
Hoiked away by Salmon. Kai Tanner is going to get the ball though. This is last gasp, last chance saloon. Stepney. Jackson. This feels like it's going to be it. Mark Waters. Canane. Jack Dean. Still Jack Dean. Needs to find a pass. Needs to find an attacking pass. Purcell.
Ryan in the box. I'm not sure why he's hanging out on the...
It's a poor cross, but it's hoiked into the... Corner ball. Farnham Town have one last chance.
Could this be?
It would raise the roof here at the Memorial Ground.
I'm not sure who will stop running if this goes in.
The 99th minute. Daryl Sanders, it's a nice ball in. Towards...
Yes!
What a header! And Farnham Town have won it!
Yeah.
That's why they're champions, Alex! What a header!
Dear.
What a moment! We've been saying it all night. Corner kicks.
Yes.
They've been coming.
That has set the place alive. Oh dear, it feels like a cup final win. I don't know about anything else.
And now Farnham need to concentrate, but they won't have to concentrate for long. That is a huge goal.
Literally, I feel he's literally going to blow the whistle as soon as they take the kick. I'm sure we said there'd be a winner.
He's still playing, the referee.
I think the referee's enjoying it that much. He's not even looked at his watch yet. Here we go, here we go, here we go. Yes!
And that is that. Farnham Town run out 3-2 winners with a 99th minute header from Joe Jackson. And from 2-0 down, Farnham Town win 3-2 here at home. Thank you so much for joining. We will be back very, very soon.